head coach. What he did with this football team, changing the culture, letting his coaches around him coach, is something that we have not seen. He has the motivational factor. He has the humble factor. He's a former player, and he's getting the best out of his players. That's all you can ask for a coach. I had the Lions winning 7-8 games last year. They won 9. That means the coaching staff, in my opinion, rose the players that we currently have. And now imagine when you have more talent on the roster, you give Dan Campbell more time to instill his type of culture. The Lions are winning. They are under the Dan Campbell way. They are fighting, they're biting, they are pinching, they are scrapping, they are cutting, they are slicing, they are dicing because they believe in the coaching staff. They believe in Dan Campbell. They believe in Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn. And all the coaches underneath them 100% agree. I think he's a great coach, and I think he's going to be a Detroit Lions coach for many, many years. Ubaldo Barragan says, #FGB, who will be our starting linebackers? Alex Anzalone will be our starting linebackers, and Jack Campbell will be our starting linebacker. And in between there, I couldn't tell you who's going to get that, in and out spot, Malcolm Rodriguez or Derrick Barnes. I'll say Malcolm Rodriguez just right now, just because Derrick Barnes was doing it in OTAs and minicamp, but Malcolm Rodriguez has done it on the field. So I'm going to go with on the field right now, but it would not be shocking me if Derrick Barnes came in and took that kind of reserve role. Random screaming guy, #Mike, if Detroit Lions make the playoffs, what round are we getting eliminated in, or would they win it all? I think the Lions will host a playoff game. They'll win the playoff game, and that's where I'm going to go from there. I don't want to go farther than that because, first off, I don't know who the team's going to play. I don't know the circumstances. I don't know what players are going to be injured for both teams. We don't know if the Lions would then have to travel or stay home. So I'm going to just say right now they'll win a playoff game at home, 100%. Campbell being a player here during 0-16, he's 100% smells blood for a Super Bowl. Mofo Jimbo, I hope, Bo, that you're 100% correcto, because then we don't need to do a research like Columbo. The Detroit Lions need everything they can, and that's Dan Campbell included in his motivation to win it all. #FGB, do we extend Jared Goff this season? No. I say we do not extend Jared Goff this season. Why is that? He's got 2 years left in his deal. There's no reason to extend him right now. Let this season play out. If he does great and he is above expectations, go ahead and sign him because it's 2 years. So you could still, in theory, you could play 2 more years without an extension. If he gets hurt or something, then you're okay with Hendon Hooker. That's why you drafted this guy. It is give the Lions, Brad Holmes, flexibility. No need to re-sign him right now. Now, if he was on a 1-year deal, it'd be a little bit different, but he's got 2 years left. And that money that he has is not much towards the cap space. That in tow allows the Detroit Lions to be flexible with other players. Maybe they want to re-sign a Jonah Jackson, Amon-Ra St. Brown at some point. So that's something else you got to look at is the financial aspects. But he's got 2 years left. I think it's a little bit early. No need to do it. Happy the Lions didn't do it. Folks, if you've not hit that like button, what in the hell are you doing? Go ahead and smash that like button right meow. We have 21 likes and 73 in the building. While people start to accumulate coming in, we'll get more likes. Again, go ahead, ask me any question you want. #Lions, #Golf, #, Wolverine, #Ultra Combo, whatever. It doesn't really matter.
Combo breaker.
And if you want to hear this, you got to get to 100 likes.
Ultra combo. Combo breaker. Ultra combo.
Show me your touchdown. Is this the last year we keep Decker at left tackle? Young Buck over here. I don't think this is his last year being a left tackle. I think he'll be here another year, so 2 more years. That's what I got going on. Then I think they'll probably move Penei Sewell over there to the left side, and maybe they go ahead and draft a right tackle at some freaking point. But I like Taylor Decker. He's a good veteran for this team. We still got some young players, and you do need that veteran leadership. And he's not bad at all. He's not bad. I think 2 years left for Taylor Decker. Really good for the Detroit Lions. We got my man, the Dern, in the building. Man, I haven't heard from you in a long time. He says, at work watching. I'm glad that you're watching at work. Make sure your boss does not see this. Make sure you don't get in trouble. Why? Because that would absolutely suck balls. And we don't want the Dern getting in trouble for sure. The big cap hit on Decker. Yeah, look, he does have a decently sized cap hit, but he's a left tackle. That's exactly what you're going to have, and he's a pretty damn good one. I think he's, top 16 left tackle in the league, and you got to pay these guys. They are protecting the blind side of your quarterback, protecting the blind side of Jared Goff right now. Need to have him on this football team because we've seen worse with worse left tackles, and we know exactly what happens when you have a piss-poor one. That means your quarterback gets hit, rips out shoulders, has surgeries. We don't need that. We got a good offensive line. Hashtag Mike, what do you think is going to be the most shocking win and loss the Lions will have, in your opinion? Shocking win, well, not to me it's going to be shocking, but to the world of the NFL, I think it would be the Kansas City Chiefs. The Lions go into Arrowhead on the day they celebrate getting their rings and all of that lovely stuff. The Lions beat the Kansas City Chiefs, shock the world, yay, yay, hippie, hip, hooray. The Lions' shocking loss to me would be to the Chicago Bears. I think maybe the Lions will lose one game to the Chicago Bears because Chicago is a little bit better. If you look at last year, we nearly lost in Chicago. Even though we did one, it's a little bit difficult. J. Will Fan says, shh, please shout me out. I'm shouting you out right now, J. Will Fan. I really appreciate you. You are a great, great one. Tim Hutchinson says, what's up, Mikey? Appreciate you. The Dern Hail Mary Sports has us going 7 and 10 thoughts. Hail Mary Sports, I love you. And if you listen to this, you're a friend of the channel. But that's terrible. The Lions I have going 11 wins. I think you're a little bit off there. Just a little bit off there for the Detroit Lions. Got the Lions winning 11 wins. Look, I think we're closer to the team than a lot of other people. We diagnose everything that's going on with the roster, good, bad, and the ugly. I think most of us are not Homer fans. I think we're realistic. And if you look at from an unbiased perspective, the Lions are better than what they were last year, which they won 9 games. I think they can jump in to that 11 spot, get 11 wins. That's what I have. I think it's incorrect. You are more than welcome, my man, Jay Will. Hashtag FGB, where do you see our defense rank? I believe we are 15 to 18 defense. I am right there with you. I think that would be perfectly fine. Mid-level defense at 16. That would be outstanding. That would result in winning the NFC North. Aaron Glenn, if he can go from one of the worst to mid-tier in one season, that means he did a good job. Absolutely did. There is a lot of talent in this roster, and maybe it gets a little bit higher because of the talented secondary, because of Aiden Hutchinson taking that next step. But I think 16 is realistic. Like you got 12 to 18, or sorry, 15 to 18. That's very realistic there. Have you played the Kirk Cousins golf course there in Holland? I have played all over Holland, so yes. Kirk Cousins, I think probably the West Ottawa golf course there, no doubt about it. Very good. Now I haven't went golfing in a little bit, so it's gonna be a little bit rough when I go back. But yes, I've played at every freaking golf course. I used to love golfing. I used to go golfing like every other Saturday. It's one of those things there. I think we surprised Chiefs week 1. I agree. What's up, Mike? I think the Lions will get 11 to 13 wins. DD414 AMT. Yeah, I think the Lions could get that 11 wins for sure. If they get above that, that's out effing standing. That means they did a fantastic job, and we won the NFC North. Hashtag FDubBears, 7 and 10. No way. 12, 5, 13 and 4, in my opinion. What defensive ranking do you think AG defensive ranking if for AG to get fired? I think it would be 21 and below. I think if he gets 21 and below, he's gone because the talent should be around 16 at least. The talent-wise. You look at the defensive line. You look at what they drafted at pick 18 to get Jack Campbell. You look at everything they did in the secondary. If you can't get above 21, I think you should get the axe. I absolutely do. And get somebody else in there with a different touch because the talent is above 21. The talent is there. You have players that get turnovers. You have players that can get sacks. You have players that can cover, is what it is. says a spell check. Don't worry about spell check, folks, but you need to worry about hitting that like button. Smash that like button really quick. It does help the channel out. More likes we get, the more chance that this content gets pushed out there. And I answer your question. That's always a good thing. If you got questions, put hashtag Lions, hashtag LNU, hashtag Mike, hashtag Ryback, hashtag Chase. Whatever you want to do, put it in the comment section so I see it, I read it, and I can send it back to you so you guys can have a good time. Should the Detroit Lions look to trade for a Chase Young? I still, when it comes to this, I don't know what they're offering for the Washington Commanders. I think it's a wait-and-see approach. I would do it for a third-round pick and a Julian Okwara. I'm not going to do it for a 1 or a 2. I think it's a little bit too high, a little bit too risky. Third-round pick, I'm okay for going for when it comes to Chase Young. I think there is potential there, but I also think there's potential for him to be injured. So I think a third-round pick is a draft pick the Lions could use to risk, but nothing higher than that, in my opinion. Too early to say, but we draft 20 next year. What position do we take? I don't know. I really don't know because we don't know what players is going to be here, right? If the Lions keep CJ Garner Johnson and they keep some of these like cornerbacks, then they probably wouldn't take a cornerback that high. If they get rid of them, then you could take a cornerback that high. Defensive tackle would probably be the position I would look at. Just right now, I'd like to see a young defensive tackle next to Aleem McNeil and next to Aiden Hutchinson on the interior. Maybe an edge rusher as well. If Romeo Okwara and Julian Okwara or Charles Harris is gone, they definitely could take an edge rusher. Most definitely. If Halapoulivaati Vaitai doesn't work out, you could take a right guard. Sorsdale doesn't live up to it. So we really do not know at this point. We will find out when the draft gets a little bit closer. And I start doing my draft evaluations week 4 of the NFL season. We talk draft from there on, and I'll definitely give you an idea of kind of what they're targeting there and what the Lions should look at. Hot take, this is Tracy Walker's last year in Detroit unless he goes off. Dern, I agree with your hot take. I like your hot take. If he does not take off and blow up, he should be gone. You got Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch. I want them to be playing. If he can't take off, those are the future of the safety position. Those are the future for the Detroit Lions back end. There's a reason you draft him as high as we did in the second round to get one of the best safeties, if not the best safety in the draft. We got him. And if Tracy Walker ain't doing it, adios, amigo. Tony says, personally, give them Julian and $20 million for Chase. Go Lions. What do you think? I don't know about paying Chase Young because I want to see what he can do. I would definitely trade Julian Okwara for sure, but I'm not ready to pay this guy because what if he is injured? Then you're paying an injured-prone player, and I really don't want to do that. They didn't pick up his fifth-year option. You can always re-sign him if everything is good. The Lions King hashtag number 3 is dope.